Hi friends, this is Piso from ChristPsychosis infected Arizona. 21st of February 2014. We're having a big, everybody's really upset at the ChristPsychotics because the ChristPsychotic governor, Brower, crazy woman from California, infected with ChristPsychosis, they are proposing a bill. And this bill discriminates against sinners, the homosexuals. They're sinners. It says in the Bible. And they, just like in Nazi Germany, Christian Nazi Germany, let's kill all the gays. Let's discriminate them because they are inferior. They're sinners. They are really bad. And it says it in the Bible. So it is true. So this is ChristPsychosis infected Arizona for you. ChristPsychotics are also anti-science. We have a really nice temperature. Climate change, you know. We're going to really cook here in Arizona. Another 20 years, we'll turn into demons. This is what's going to happen. There is something here in crazy America, ChristPsychosis infected nation, something that nobody seems to see. And everybody talks about it, but they do not define words. They have no idea about etymology. ChristPsychotics probably think that English was spoken by gods, by everybody 3,000, 6,000 years ago. It's the only language spoken in the planet. The United States only exists as the only country in the whole planet with the earth, which is flat. That is what they believe. ChristPsychotics are schizophrenic imbeciles. And these two words are religion and God. They don't seem to understand what the word religion is. How do you define religion? And religion seems to be, they're all composed of bizarre mythological beliefs created by the brain of all sort of imaginary friends. I for fibs, the imaginary friends who follow irrational belief. That's what a religion is. And it's been started about 40,000 years ago. We're becoming aware of our, trying to make sense of the world because we are product of coitus, evolved mutated primates. And we are born and emerge out of our mother's womb, cave of creation, blank of information. In other words, zero. You don't know how to even talk, how to walk, how to scratch your balls, nothing. You go, ooh, you look at it, the only thing you're searching is for the tit of your mom to give you the secret milk that the ancients believed it was like cum, like semen, because the liquids are very similar. That's where the religion began. So here in Arizona, we have these ChristPsychosis infected imbeciles that are putting a new bill. Not to discriminate against religion. It's actually a religious psychosis. But religion, what is religion? Religion is Christianity. They believe a resurrected son be named Jesus Christ saved for sin, committed by a couple, by a madman and a rib woman when they accepted a forbidden fruit from a talking snake. So religion in the United States, when you say religion, don't be fooled. Don't be an idiot. When you say religion, you say Christianity. When you say, do you believe in God? You say Jesus Christ. This is the problem. And it's amazing that same people, which are atheists, because atheists don't believe in all that crap, that's what it means. A, without, and Deus Deus is God, bullshit, crap. So therefore, if you don't believe in God, bullshit, crap, means that your brain is sane. Only little children and extremely ignorant people that don't speak a language will actually have an excuse to believe in crap in this 21st century, because remember, but that's what a religion is. So when everybody starts talking about religion, do not say religion. Don't ever use that word. Use the word the word Christianity. If you're in Saudi Arabia, you shouldn't say religion either. But they speak Arabic over there. The words are different. There are 8,000 languages speaking in this planet. And this is what, you know, people should understand. This is crazy, ignorant country. They're disgusting, ignorant idiots, and the reason they are stupid and ignorant is because of churches. Over 1 million churches teaching these imbeciles, these kids, these poor kids, this garbage for over 200 years. What do you get in church? Nothing. They don't evolve. They don't make the brain evolve. They keep you stagnated, retarded, and ignorant. That's what happens in churches. And what do they teach? They teach Christianity. And what is Christianity? Christianity is the acceptance of a God that was killed and resurrected to save with blood. And the God was named Jesus Christ. Resurrect with blood to save people with his blood for the sin committed by a mad woman and a mad man and a real woman. They accepted a fruit from the top of his day. This is Christianity. Blood saved. And this is stupid bullshit in a book of mythologies called the Bible. And there are many Bibles. Every religion has a mythology book. All of them have it. They're mythologies. They're like Greek mythology. But this Bible teaches all a bunch of bullshit. And people that accept this bullshit as true, they have a problem with their brains. Because the bullshit, the mythologies of the Bible are no different than the beliefs and the bizarre beliefs and mythologies that are accepted as true by people with brain defect, like schizophrenics. If I give you drugs, you will start believing all that crap to be true. If you are schizophrenic, you believe in the crap to be true. If you are bipolar, you have all these problems, this personality disorder, you have all these problems, you believe this stuff to be true. And they're no different than all the bullshit of religion. Go figure. And what is wrong with atheists? Why atheists don't see this? And they never complain about it. Bill Nye doesn't do it in his speech, and his attacking the Creation Museum and discussing all this bullshit with Ken Ham. It's absolutely mind-boggling, the stupidity, the ignorance of this scientist. Then you have Eugene Scott. This woman is incredible, the National Center of Science Education. She's the director. And she doesn't want to attack religion because it says, you know, that we have to encourage science. You cannot encourage science when you have a bunch of Christian imbeciles in control of the government. They're believing all that crap. You know, these senators, they're all imbeciles. Bachman and all that, they're disgusting, theotarded, racist, pieces of shit, psychotic people. They're in control. And what's going to happen with it? They control the government. They're going to, don't give any funds for NASA, for the National Center of Science Education, Mrs. Scott. And she ought to take her brain, take it out of her ass, because she's extremely naive and dumb. Incredible. They are in control. You cannot tell them. You have to attack the disorder of these people. You attack religious psychosis, which is schizophrenia. And they don't understand it. It's amazing, amazing. The ignorance. And now we have all these problems in this country because of the Christ-psychotic, infected imbecile. And atheists don't have any balls, atheist intellectuals, to actually call these psychotic people for what they are. They have a problem with the brain. 2 + 2 = 4. Not 5, not 8, no any number that your defective brain thinks it is. And religious don't have any basis of reality. So they believe in all these delusions that are exactly the same like believing 2 + 2 = any number they think it is. And atheists are cowards. Atheist intellectuals, they don't have any balls to actually tell it like it is. Religion is a psychosis, is a form of schizophrenia. Religious belief is a psychosis. Let's tell it like it is. And religion in the United States is Christianity. It's not Muslimism, it's not shamanism, no, it's Christianity. And what is the God in the United States? You say, it is Jesus Christ. A mythological character, something that's resurrected, say with blood. That's the way it is.
Discriminate bill. Arizona is not the only state to take up legislation widely seen as singling.
Due to Christ-psychosis, imbeciles.
So-called religious freedom bills have been.
Christianity freedom bills.
Plan is the
Psychosis bills.
Passed on Martin.
It's a stupid woman.
Continue to repeat it.
Psychotic, schizophrenic.
Even constitutional.
Of course it is. The Constitution is written by psychotic infected
This story in the book, religion, the civil rights era, discrimination against women, and now this. I don't think it is going to ultimately be
religious psychosis.
Class status for
stupid, blind idiot.
The court has been holding that in the area
Come
of
on.
lesbian and gay rights now.
Come on.
Rights of lesbians and gays.
Learn.
For example, can you imagine?
Believing God is a psychosis.
Say you can't come into
psychosis.
or hotel because I personally don't like gay people and it's against my religion.
Except psychosis.
A non-believer, I'm an atheist, and you're a believer, and that offends me. I mean,
there you go.
What if it was reversed?
That's
the same thing, right?
Exactly.
It's an exception that swallows the rule. And
yeah, see?
Everyone in America is equal or everyone is
and people that are crazy people and they're sane people.
All we ask is equal protection of the laws.
Yeah.
These measures aim to shield business owners from discrimination suits, right? But I mean,
exactly.
Federal.
I don't think ultimately this law is going to be upheld. I think it's pandering to a certain portion of the population who wants to discriminate against
psychotics.
That portion of the
psychotics.
Really on the wrong side of the history.
Idiots.
Moving forward, very
back in the 12th century.
LGBT
and churches are to blame.
I think this is going to be a blip on the radar. Ultimately, will not be upheld.
We need to. I don't think there is a pin-up desire for a woman president.
Look at this psychotic.
I almost want to laugh when I'm reading that.
Stupid piece of shit, deluded woman.
With Kelly Goff, she's a special
Christian piece of shit.
The bill.
See? Still they don't get it. An atheist scientists, mentally healthy, they're atheists, that's what he means, because we create all the thinking with the brain. They don't stand up and condemn all the churches as filled with psychotic infected imbeciles, because if you believe in God, in a zombie God that resurrects and saved with blood, which all the Christians do, then you are psychotic. You have a problem with your brain, and this cancer distributes in churches, in psychosis infected universities. They should be shut down. They call these, around all these idiots, put them in asylums they belong. Because Christianity is a mental illness. And deal with the facts. And this is the problem. If you're a psychotic infected imbecile, if you believe in all this nonsense from the 12th century, you do not belong in government. You have to have a mental examination before you are elected. And this is the craziness in the United States of America. All this is due to psychosis. The schizophrenia type disorder that nobody sees. And mentally healthy atheists, they don't have the balls to stand up and protest in churches. Bill Nye doesn't do it, he's a blind idiot. And Dawkins doesn't do it, another blind idiot born in psychosis infected England. Harris is an idiot. I don't know where he got his neuroscience degree from a stupid, what is he born? Was he born out of a stork or something like that? No, he was born blank. He was created by a coitus. The same like any scientist, like any person in the world here, is born by coitus, which is a fuck. And these idiots are still up in the goddamn clouds over there, don't understand science. And they call themselves scientists and atheists. Atheism means not believing all this crap, which means that if you don't believe in this crap of the 12th century, of this religious nonsense, it means that you are sane, you are mentally healthy. I mean, what is it going to take for these idiots, atheists, worthless, nonsense morons to stand up to the psychosis infected churches? I mean, these people spread all this garbage into the corrupted mind of children, and you atheists say nothing. American atheists, the pressing of atheists. What idiots! Silverman and the rest. What is? You guys are blind. You know, learn history, learn science, learn all kind of neurology, so you know what the brain, the defective brains create defective thinking. And they're all over the United States. The people are discrimination against gays, racism,
And Adelina,
then you have people chopping the kids'
however, she's not
heads
and caliber as the other two ladies.
Doing exorcisms,
So I would have been okay,
you know, cutting the baby's penis and sucking the blood like rabbi psychotics do.
And I think they have to take a look
because it's religion.
at the protocol.
Religion is a psychosis. Deal with it.
Chemical.
It's happening all over the place. And what it distributes in churches. You have a Scalia, you know, a Supreme Court justice, believing in demons and exorcisms. This is a psychosis that nobody seems to see, and it's incredible. You know, take all the churches, shut all the churches down, and define religious beliefs, believing in imaginary friends, fibs, which all religions do, just like schizophrenics. Connect the two. Call religion simply religious psychosis, a form of schizophrenia. Deal with it. That's the only way we can actually have a healthy nation. Because this is incredibly ignorant and psychotic. United States of America is a crazy America.
It's
incredible. This is the problem.
Just a magic form.
Should have died. She was still breathing, and I don't know what happened to her afterwards. I don't know where they took her or what exactly.
Psychosis.
But she was the Antichrist. She did not die.
Nichols says afterwards.
We went in my car, and we ended up in a little rural area, and we just waited for the sign to...
Psychosis.
Now that Nichols is in custody, Neighbors is convinced she did everyone a favor.
She had a symbolic representations of my death, my daughter's death, every nuclear explosion that was supposed to happen that's not going to now.
These Christ-psychotic schizophrenics get their infection here in the centers of infection. Millions of churches corrupting the mind of children. And this is what you get, nuts like her.
And a cult has been rounded up and killed now.
In order to, they say, discriminate against other individuals based solely on their sexual orientation.
What do you think these religions come from? The crap of the Bible. They're Christ-psychosis infected imbeciles that I've been saying for decades now.
The legislature, the governor, Jan Brewer, said she hasn't decided whether she's going to sign the bill. She said she's going to decide next week. She did veto something similar last year. I mean, what do you...
That in the days ahead, what you're going to see are the businesses here in Arizona. Don't forget, several businesses are already expressed their concern about this particular legislation, that if it is signed...
This is happening here in Arizona.
Phoenix said they've heard from 4
in Arizona.
Saying that if it is signed,
the governor, Brewer, is a Christ-psychosis infected imbecile with bad genes from California. And this stupid woman has a son that is mentally impaired, that was in prison, and is in prison now. The governor of Arizona has a psycho son. She's a psycho Christian piece of shit woman. This is what happens.
Legal costs that the state couldn't otherwise afford.
Religious.
About all of
this is a psychosis. Religious. Define religion. It's all involved in metamagical, stupid beliefs. All religions have mythologies, imaginary friends. That's what your exorcists come from. That's what demonic possession comes from. That's what sin comes from. That's what racism comes from. That's what all this crap. And in this 21st century, and this thing is spread in churches. This is what a stupid atheist scientists do not see. Come on, Dawkins. Come on, Bill Nye. Wake up. Eugene Scott.
They can't eat there.
National Center for Science Education, Eugene Scott, a stupid woman.
In private.
Oh no, that they cannot fight religion. Religion is a psychosis. You have to fight it. It's like a disease, a mental disease. So you have to fight all the churches. You have to fight all this bunch of imbeciles. Not only a stupid creation in museum. You guys nuts?
These restaurant examples.
Fight the churches.
This bill has nothing to do with serving people in restaurants.
See?
But I'm
psychotic imbeciles.
You're trying to cite religion. To be consistent, wouldn't you have to say, let's just say that you're a restaurant owner, right?
Stupid woman. She had no idea what religion is. It's believing in stupid imaginary crap. That's what religion is.
Aren't you required, if
stupid asshole,
the Bible and the commandments, to not serve meat?
The Bible is crap, you stupid asshole woman.
That's not what this bill's about. This bill is about protecting people who want...
This asshole, they have their brains up in the ass. They have no idea what religion is.
To violate their...
It's believing in imaginary shit like schizophrenics do. I for fibs, imaginary friends of irrational beliefs.
Right now, where the majority of
this is the result.
Businesses shouldn't be forced.
These people don't believe in science. The assholes are believing in climate change. The assholes don't believe in science. Don't believe in anything that is real. Don't believe in evolution. The assholes.
1983 was signed into law by Bill Clinton.
Yeah, they should put them in an asylum. Like people that suffer from depression, from schizophrenia, from bipolar disorder. Christians are crazy people. They're psychotic. They have a disease in their brains, and people don't see it.
Doesn't believe that corporations enjoy.
This is what you have, idiots here. This will make my point. You have atheists, in other words, sane atheists, scientists like Dr. Eugene Scott. She is the director of the National Center for Science Education. And look at this. This woman is blind because she doesn't see religious beliefs are mental illness. Christianity is the worst of them all. I call it Christpsychosis. The belief that somebody resurrected and saved with blood for sin. That's a psychosis. That's schizophrenia. It's no difference. And look at this. And you see here, look at what she writes. Accommodating science. What is the problem? The problem is defective brains believing in all the crap of religion. That's the problem. In the United States, it's Christpsychosis. And this defect is spread in churches, Mrs. Scott. In churches. And look what she says here. Insisted the task of the NCSE is not to attack religion. Why not? It's a schizophrenia. Do you like cancer? Don't you attack cancer or bipolar disorder or depression or dementia? Don't you do that? Religion is no different. It's a compilation of crap, of very dangerous mythologies accepted as reality. But she says, not to attack religion, but to promote science. You cannot promote science education if you have a bunch of schizophrenic in control of government. Like the Tea Party. Don't you know about Senator Cruz and all the rest of imbeciles? They don't believe in climate change? Don't you know that, Dr. Scott? Don't you know that the Supreme Court Justice Scalia believes in demons and all that crap? And they're in control of the government. Why don't you just learn? Why don't you get it? You know, come on. It's ridiculous. Learn neurology. Not to attack religion. No, you should attack religion psychosis. Don't say religion, say psychosis. It's a schizophrenia. You should attack it and complain in all the churches. See? To promote science education and knowledge in the broader community. Oh, God, ridiculous. Ridiculous. You know, how come you can not to attack a mental illness that is screwing the country up? That's because of all the problems. It's Christpsychosis. They are attacking science. No, not research in science. I mean, look at a piece of shit Bush. President. Infected with Christpsychosis. God appointing him to be... This woman is crazy. All these scientists are completely clueless. Atheist scientists. You know, like Bill Nye. He wasted all that time attacking, you know, against Ken Ham, not calling for the mental health of these people. And she doesn't do that either. She doesn't call religious people and question their mental health. Never. And that's what she should do. The brain is the creator of thinking. It's not the ass. The brain here, a defective brain in a position of power is extremely dangerous. Look at Caligula. Look at all these different leaders that are completely lunatics. Because the problem, look at Adolf Hitler, the Christian that killed 6 million Jews. These people are extremely ignorant, these scientists today. So yes, you should attack religion, attack religious psychosis. That's the only way you are living out their faith.
This that you say,
the Christian, they're living out their psychosis.
They're gay or
faith is a psychosis.
Based on religion, I'm okay if they're an adulterer. I mean, is that going to
no, and it propagates in churches, slippery slope, just like the Crusade, just like the 12th century.
Black people. And
they start killing, you know, they discriminated against black, they put atheists, and they burn witches, and they burn everybody with brains, and they destroy sculptures, they destroy statues. They've been doing this for 1700 years. And this is stupid stupid imbeciles don't know it because the lies are propagating in churches. And the education is controlled by Christ-psychosis infected imbeciles in all governments. The Western world is all Christian. They're Christ-psychotics. All Europe and all that. And United States is the worst. It's an infection. It's a schizophrenia type disease. That's where it comes from, the Bible and the Quran and all the stupid books.
To find a way to discriminate.
Well, that's what you discriminate.
That they're going to be upheld in court.
They don't do it in the name of religion. They do it in the name of schizophrenia. In other words, they do it because of religious psychosis, because of schizophrenia. Nobody is insane in the name of schizophrenia. Because of it.
Every action that is under the guise of religion.
Yeah, it's a confusion crap.
They have to be proven in order to...
It's a bipolar idiot.
First of all, you have to prove that you have a sincerely held religious belief.
Oh, really sincere? What religious belief?
Religious belief.
Religion is Christianity, imbecile.
How do you prove that?
Religion is Christianity.
That's the burden on the person who's on that.
Stupid asshole.
You can point...
Christianity, see? Religion is Christianity in the United States. The God in the United States is Jesus Christ.
But the bill is still saying...
That's what the imbeciles don't understand. When you're talking about religion, you're talking about Christianity only.
Photographers out of wedding ceremonies.
God, and atheism is the lack of any belief of this crap. All of them.
When you that's what
we're...
They don't read the Bible, these imbeciles.
From a photographer who didn't want to take pictures at a gay wedding. Now,
see, it's all because of the Bible crap and the psychosis of religion that nobody sees.
Blaine Photography in New Mexico, a case which we're handling. You're asking a photographer to go into a wedding, to create a storybook, to tell a story, to use her expressive talents, and to be a part of a ceremony that she doesn't believe in. She didn't. She said, "I'll take their picture. I will take their portraits. I'll take their passport pictures. It has nothing to do with their sexual orientation."
Well, how is that different than a caterer serving gay people in a restaurant?
It's a psychosis.
Well, because
and nobody sees it. And the stupid atheist organization in the United States are so stupid and blind, they don't call these people nuts. No. Christ-psychosis, as I call them. I call it Christ-psychosis. It's a schizophrenia type disorder. It's a mental illness. It's imbeciles that believe in resurrecting somebody so with God, with blood.
And serve pork sandwiches.
I mean, Doug,
it's stupid people. Idiotic.
Then you open the door to a religious belief. There could be all kinds of things, right? Whether it's race,
religious,
or anything
psychosis.
Else. I mean,
exactly.
How do you not have this?
Read the Bible. Read the Bible, piece of shit.
The people are out there protesting actually read this bill because this doesn't change any of those concerns.
I'm not crazy talking to a TV. I'm doing the video and I'm actually making this for you guys so you understand what I'm talking about. Comparing with the TV, with what these imbeciles say.
Religious beliefs, if there's a compelling
because all religious beliefs are composed of bizarre mathematical beliefs like schizophrenia. Simple. Brain. Defective brain creates defective thoughts. All religions and schizophrenia, temporal lobe epilepsy, etc.
This is a bill about protecting people from being discriminated, which we're finding more and more that people of faith are.
People of faith discriminate. That's psychotic.
To be in favor of this.
Well, I hope you enjoy this explanation of what religion and God is. And everybody seems to make the same mistake. They always say about religion, and they talk about God. But they do not realize that religion in the United States is Christianity, and God is Jesus Christ. And basically religion, all religions are a form of schizophrenia, because all religions must accept ifofib, in other words, imaginary friends or foes' irrational beliefs as if they were true and reality. And exactly the same thing happens in mental disorders like schizophrenia, temporal lobe epilepsy, and many others. It basically is, they create delusions, they create irrational concepts due to the neural array, a defect of the central gating deficits. Because we get all our information from our sensors.
evoke potential. The five senses, the eyes, the ear. If something malfunctions in our eyes, we don't see well, the hear, we might hear voices and things, and it creates a defect and it gives you the wrong information in the brain. And you have, that's the reason you have pareidolia, you see things, you see objects, you have glossolalia, speaking in tongues, and these Christards do that. That is psychosis. This is a schizophrenia. It's a form of schizophrenia. And the people convince themselves that they're speaking to the gods. Well, and they're not taking any drugs. They would have an excuse if they take drugs. Because if they take drugs, then you know what happens. You take LSD, or you take datura flowers, you take ayahuasca, you take peyote, you take all the religions in the world, different tribes and different cultures, they ingested entheogens. Entheogens is a word that means God within. In other words, when you take a chemical, or plant, or flower, or whatever, you know, the brain is affected the brain, so you start thinking about that stuff. I can imitate it. I can copy it. It's fun. It's fun to be a little bit crazy. Because we are crazy primates. We are crazy apes. We're evolved mutated primates. Product of coitus. We evolved, you know, our planet, our Mother Earth, we are related to everything on the planet, DNA. But, and we get old and we die. There's no God, we created the God. Because we're the only crazy ape, the crazy primate, that is aware, it has qualia, and it has abstract, and is aware of themselves, ourselves, and then we realize that we are naked. In other words, that we're going to die. And we have to answer every question. We have to know things. What is life, where we came from, and all that. And the only thing that can satisfy us, make us feel good, is when we create God, an imaginary friend that explains everything. That's the reason in science you keep learning and learning and learning and learning all the time. You never stop learning. And you never have all the answers. But that's science, that's beautiful, and everything works. And you keep more and more, the more things you discover, the more questions. That is science. But lazy people, psychotic people, their answer is God did it. There's as many gods as the bird. That is the answer. That's if they are satisfied with that, they are at peace. That's the reason why scientists cannot sleep. They always, oh God, they found all this, they found that, they, you know, discovered this, and they go and work on the calculations about that. It's beautiful because but a Christ-psychotic infected imbecile, and these people are disgusting because the Christians, Christ-psychotics, are ruining the planet. They've been doing that since the 1st century. They create all this psychopathy, genocide, perversion, sadomasochism, immorality, genocide, pedophilia, racism, homophobia. You can see that in this country. And they are disgusting pieces of shit. And you can see that in the GOP, the God-obsessed party. You can see that in all the despicable people in power that are in control of the country. Look at what happened to what Bush did. Christ-psychotic infected him that ruined the country. And this is what that atheists, the mentally healthy, sane atheist scientists do not see. That's the reason I'm after them. Because I will remind them. I mean, Christ-psychotic have an excuse. They are stupid, ignorant people suffering from a schizophrenia type disorder. But as scientists that don't realize that these people that we create thinking with the brain, and when the brain malfunctions, you create, there is a schizophrenia, and religions are all based on eye for fibs, imaginary friends of folks, exactly like schizophrenia. And if the scientist doesn't see that, hey, there's a problem, because they see they're blind or extremely stupid in neurology. And a scientist should learn neurology. Dawkins should learn, Bill Nye should learn neurology. And they always have to question the mental health of the people that are crazy, and they bring up those ridiculous anti-science bullshit. They don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. And a scientist sits down and listens to them and don't say anything. And they explain all the science on the equation on that these assholes don't understand, the Christards imbeciles. And they never question the mental health of the person they are discussing this to, because they're crazy. Bill Nye never questioned the mental health of Ken Ham, this in Creation in Museum, this Christ-psychotic infected imbecile. And he never questioned the churches. They are responsible for all the crap that comes in the United States, raping the mind of children, keeping everybody ignorant, theotarded, imbeciles, psychopaths, genocidal, racism. And they are responsible, all the churches, Brigham Young University, all these morons, Mormons, believing in all this crap of the 12th century, and this is the problem. So I will speak the truth, and I will rack it to them. I will grab these atheist pieces of shit, scientists. They piss me off because they are responsible. They never question the sanity of religious people, religious psychotic people. Never. They are either cowards, they have no balls, they have no guts to tell it like it is. I do. I will mention, but I'm a nobody. Nobody knows me. I'm not a scientist over there that I can go and have all the power to write books and measure. No, I'm a nobody. I'm just called Pun Piso, an evolved mutated primate that knows what's going on. And that's what I try to remind him. And it's disgusting, and it's a shame that the American atheists, they don't have the guts and the balls and the intelligence to actually tell it like it is and warn everybody that believing God is a mental disease, like a schizophrenia. Because God is an eye for fib, imaginary friend for irrational belief. Pachitero.